In this video, we are going to solve the Leetcode problem of the day, and the problem is count days without meetings. So let us try to understand this with example number 1. So in this particular problem, we are given two inputs. The number of days when an employee is available to work. So in this example, we have number of days as 10, and there are some meetings which are scheduled in the office. The meetings data is a two-dimensional array, and every data in this particular array is representing two things: the start day of the meeting and the end day of the meeting. For example, here the employee is available for 10 days. So we have marked those 10 days in this particular line, which goes from 1 to 10. And in this meetings data, the first data says that the meeting is scheduled from day number 5 to day number 7. So let us mark those days as meetings scheduled. So 5 to 7. The next data is 1 to 3. It means that the meeting is scheduled from day number 1 to day number 3. And the next data is 9 to 10. It means the meeting is scheduled from day number 9 to day number 10. Now, after the meetings are scheduled, we need to output the number of days when the employee is available for work, but there are no meetings. So here the number of days are total number of days are 10 when the employee is available to work. So there are 2 days, day number 4 and day number 8, when there are no meetings. And if there are no meetings, then in this case the output is going to be 2, because the total number of days with no meetings are 2. Now there is another constraint which is given in the question. It says that the meetings may overlap. So let us see a scenario when the meeting can overlap. So let us say we have another meeting which is scheduled from day number 2 to day number 4. So in this case, we are going to mark the day number 2 to day number 4 as meeting scheduled. So now you will notice that the day number 2 and day number 3 are having meetings two times, but that does not have any impact on our output, because what we need to output is the number of days when the employee is available to work, but there are no meetings. So it is 8 now. 4 was the answer earlier, but right now since we have meetings from day number 2 to day number 4, so day number 4 is also not available as free day, and only output is day number 8. So the total number of days are 1 in this case. Now this is a case of overlapping meetings. Now how can we approach the solution is, you will notice that we have some fixed number of days, right? 1 to 10 here, and in these fixed days we have some meetings, right? Like 1 to 3 and 2 to 4, 5 to 6. Now let us understand a fact using this input 1 to 3, that if a meeting starts on day 1 and ends on day 3, it means that none of the days between this start and end is going to be free, right? So if we are saying that start is 1, end is 3, then the day number 2 is also not available for us for our answer, because the day number 2 is not free day. We just need to output the number of free days, which is 8 right now. And again, when we are processing the next input, which is like, let's say 5 to 7, and we mark 5 as starting and 7 as ending, so none of those days between start to end is going to be free. Now let us see another fact about this question. So let's say there are no meetings for now. Let's remove all these things. Okay. So let's say we don't have any meetings as of now. And if we don't have any data, what will be the output? The output is going to be 10, or the number of days, right? The number of days are 10. So the output is going to be 10. Now you saw that there is a meeting 5 to 7, right? Using the first meeting data. Now in this case, what is going to be the output? The output is going to be 7, right? Because we have 3 days when there are meetings scheduled. Earlier the output was 10, now it is going to be 7, right? But how can we come to this? Let us see. Now let us process our days one by one. So when we are going to loop our days 1 to 4, you will find that no meetings are scheduled from 1 to 4. But when you will go to 5, you will find that there is a meeting, right? There is a meeting. Now the thing to notice here is, the first day when the meeting was scheduled is day number 5. So any days before the first day are free days. So till this point, you will have the answer as 4. The 4 is not the complete answer. We are going to update our answer. But till the point of day number 4, we have the 4 days free. Next is, when we process the input from day number 5, we found that, okay, from day number 5, there is a meeting and it is going till day number 7. So in that case, we are not going to count 5 to 7. But when we reached to 8, we found that the last day when the meeting was scheduled at point number 8 is day number 7, right? And there are no meetings further. And now in this case, The total number of days are 10. The last day of the meeting was 7. So total number of free days are 3. So these are our initial data, 4 and 3. And when you will sum it, you will find that total number of days which are free is 7. And also the output, in case when the input is just 5 to 7, is going to be 7. 7 number of days are free, 1 to 4 and 8 to 10. Now we are going to utilize these facts. Now let us take another example where the number of days are 10 and the input is 6 to 8 and 2 to 4. Now in this case you will find that the days 2 to 4 are the days when there are some meetings and the days 6 to 8 are the days when there are some meetings. Now let us again try to process our input one by one. When we reached to day number 1, we found that there are no meetings. So at this point the output is going to be 1, and then when we tried to process the day number 2, we found that there is a meeting. The start day of the first meeting is day number 2 and it went till, and the ending was day number 4. So it went till day number 4. So none of the days from start to end, that is 2 to 4, are free. Then let us go to day number 5, and at day number 5 we found that there is a free day, there are no meetings. Then how are you going to count how many days are free till point number 5? You can say we are at 5, day number 5, and the last day when the meeting ended was day number 4. So total number of free days are going to be 1. At point number 5 we got another free day, and initially we already had this 1 day free. So at point number 5 we are going to have 2 days as free. And then when we try to process another input which is 6 to 8, we found that okay, we have meetings from 6 to 8, and this time the start date is going to be updated, and it is going to be start is 6 and ending is 8. Now again you will notice that when we reached to the point number 9, we found that okay, 6 to 8 was a meeting, but 9 is not a meeting, 10 is not a meeting, right? And since we don't have meeting at 9 and 10 both, let us try to process the 10, the bigger data. At point number 10 you don't have any meeting, and then you found that the last meeting which happened was on the day 8, right? So in case remove 8 from 10 and you will find that it is equal to 2, right? So get rid of this, make it 2. We already had 2 days free, we got another 2 days which is free, so the output is going to be 2 plus 2, which is 4. And for this input, if you will notice, the output will be 4, right? Day 1 is free, day 5 is free, and day 9 and 10 are free, and we got the output as 4. 2 plus 2. This is going to be the approach for our solution. So let us see the algorithm of the solution. So first we need to sort our meetings, and the reason to sort is we are trying to process our input from day 1 to day number 10, or whatever number of days are given. But the meetings which are scheduled in the input is not in an order. It is starting from 5 to 7, then the input is 1 to 3, then it is again 9 to 10, 6 to 8, 2 to 4. So we need to first sort it so that we are following the sequential order of processing our data. Once we sort our meetings based on the start days, right? So our meetings data is having two data, start and end. So we need to sort it based on the starting date, right? And then we have to store a variable called as last end. When was the meeting which ended the last time? And initially the value will be 0. 0 means we don't have any data as of now. We will process the meetings data and then we will update our last end variable. Then we are going to loop on our meetings, and for every time we found that the start day is more than the last end day plus 1. For example, in this case you will find that we have the input 2 to 4 and 6 to 8. So when we are processing 6 to 8, then in this case you will notice that the date is 8, the ending date, the last ending date was 4. So in this case we are going to add few days, the number of days between this data, which is going to be the new start date minus the end date of the last meeting minus 1. So 8 minus 4 minus 1 is going to be 3, and this is going to represent the number of days which are free between 8 and 4. So yes, when we found that the start date is more than the last end date of the meeting plus 1, then in this case we have some free days and we are going to add it in our result. And in the end, we are going to return the result which we found after processing all the meetings plus the number of days which we had and the last end day. This is because if you will notice that 6 to 8 is a meeting, you will find that the last time the meeting ended was on day number 8, and then there are no meeting data, and we have total number of 10 days. If we remove 8 from 10, we are going to get the last few days which were free, and this is also we are going to add in our result. So let us jump back to our code editor and try to solve this particular problem. the first thing we can do is store our variable result. This is going to store our result, and the last end day, so last end is going to be initially 0. Now we are going to sort our meetings, so meetings dot sort, and then let us loop on our meetings. So for start comma end in meetings, this is because every meeting is having a start and end date, so start and end are going to store those data. We are going to first check if the start date is more than the last end date plus 1. So in this case, we are going to add something in our result. So this is going to be result is equal to result plus what is the start date and what was the last end day. So last end day minus 1. And once you have processed this information, what we are going to do, we are going to update our last end date. And this is going to be the maximum of the last end date, comma, the new end which you got in your meetings data. And then when we are out of our loop, we are also going to check if there are few days available at the last which are free. So result is going to be result plus total number of days which we have minus the last end day. Let us return the result, and this is going to be our answer. And let us submit this code, and you will find that all the test cases are correct. Yes, and it is a pretty efficient solution as well. Let me show you the complete code. And I think that is it for this video, guys. If you got some understanding from this video, and if this video helps you in any way, then make sure that you hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed yet, make sure that you subscribe the channel as well, because I'm going to upload a lot of videos on Leetcode, and there are going to be other programming tutorials as well, and that's definitely going to benefit you. So yes, that is it. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I will see you guys in the next video.